Hi, I'm Dave, and this
Follow
is
Dave on
Tabletop Time. I love this channel because I get to be on tabletops.
He is passionate about
The surfaces of tables.
It's tabletop time.
I'm Jazza.
I'm Dave.
And today we're celebrating Tabletop Time passing 100,000 subscribers. In our first mini video together, when we were reacting to a professional paint job, you were like, oh, we should have a goal for blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, 100,000 subscribers.
We could do a battle.
A battle?
Yeah, we could have the same mini and just be like, you've got this amount of time, whatever color scheme, whatever else you want to do, you've got 5 hours each.
I like
and then
it.
we fight to the death. We put it to the vote of our mini club patrons as to what type of minis we should paint. 40k, Age of Sigmar, D&D, or 3D print something surprising. Which one? Rather than picking the same mini, we both agreed you'd probably get a little bored of watching us both paint the same mini. I guess there's something interesting seeing how we interpret it. Instead, what we decided to go with was be an angel and a demon, but we don't know who is who.
Not yet. We haven't got far enough to work that out.
So we're going to, as usual, in most situations, let the dice decide. Whoever gets a 20 is an angel. If you get a 1, you're a demon. But the catch is, if you roll either of those things first, like if I roll a 1 first, my character will be slightly more powerful.
Who's an angel and who's a demon?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
This could take a while.
Hey, you're an angel!
I'm an angel!
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
And I'm more powerful!
We both have 5 hours. But a couple of things. 1, where does the battle take place? 2, what system do we use? We want you guys to decide. And because we have 2 Patreons, we have the mini club. You guys, aside from having picked the minis we're painting, you will get to pick the play field. And then our role play Patreons will be able to pick the system we use. I think that's all the setup required to jump into it, because all the voting will be calculated later. We'll be playing this time next week, but you're going to get started painting an angel today.
Should be fun.
I think it's time for you, Dave, to paint an angel. Good luck in the next 5 hours. I'll see you on the battlefield.
Bloody let's do it, mate.
Wait, let me interrupt this video to let you know that there is 10% off of merch for a limited time, because we're doing this as a sale to celebrate 100,000 subscribers. Yay! And because we're very soon actually moving into a new studio, and that's going to be pretty expensive to get the right equipment and to get properly set up. We got Tabletop Time logo t-shirts. We got Tabletop Time logo with the figures on them t-shirts, and hoodies and other stuff. We got tape, like logos of the Tabletop Time made of tape as t-shirts, which is our best-selling item, which I don't really understand, but it's beautiful. It's amazing. Thank you. Why? I love it. This whole channel's a meme, and you can get in on the joke by getting yourself a t-shirt that looks like it's got masking tape on it. It's actually very convincing. So go check it out with the link in the description. Use the code TTT100K to get 10% off until we're in the new studio. Thank you for 100,000 subscribers, and thank you for your support. Enjoy the merch.
So the model I chose to paint was from the Heroes Infinite Patreon collection. I quickly knew that I'd be priming it in light colors, so I grabbed the Wraithbone spray, primed it up, and got it ready for painting. I got the airbrush and began painting sort of a pastel rainbow gradient down the wings. Once the wings were done in this strange little rainbow, it almost had like a Feywilds from D&D aesthetic going onto it, and I wasn't really sure of the direction. It felt like a rainbow, and rainbow is light refraction, and that made me think of like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. I just went, you know what? I'm gonna take this idea and go with the Angel of Twilight and paint some darker colors and really give it that like night sky with a burst of color or like a prism of color coming out of it. I tried to put some more detail into the wings and get them to be less pastel, maybe have a few bits that popped a bit better with line highlighting on the quills, but it just was not working for me. Some of the elements of painting a very large model that has been 3D printed that is very cumbersome and difficult to handle to paint as a single piece made precision painting very difficult on those quills. So I ended up going for some dry brushes, which only amplified the pastel effect. But in the end, we were timed and I had to move on. So I did. Jazza had this scale 75 black and white paint set sitting around the studio that I'd been very tempted to try, and the skin just pointed to me and said, hey, paint me like the vacuum of space or something. So I attempted it. However, halfway through this process, tragedy struck. I went out to Jeremy in the editing room and I was like, hey man, Jazza's just stepped out and I can't show him what I've been painting. So what do you think of this? Oh, I dropped it. So as soon as the angel hit the floor, it went into about 6 pieces. Both wings came off, and
The angels hit the floor. Let the angels hit.
so I just grabbed my brush and went, all right, I can now paint areas of the back that I couldn't access before. So I finished off the transitions on the skin and began painting the blue cloak. I was going to do a gradient from blue down to black again, really trying to hammer in that like night sky, space, constellations idea. And I went for it, grabbed the airbrush, did some gradients down to the bottom, and very quickly built up effects that again would take me a long time if I was painting by hand. I painted a good heavy wash on it. Something about it just wasn't sitting and it needed a little bit more, so I went back to that traditional Games Workshop wash and again got to the point of, oh, I need to move on. I was getting to the end of the day. We had had a lot of filming interruptions and a lot of things that had happened, and my sort of 5-hour stint turned into 3 hours of actual painting, and that's all I managed to get. So I thought, I'm gonna have to take this and do some work at home on it. I really wanted to get it done, and I was happy to do that. But before I left the studio, I needed to use that one thing that I don't have yet, which was the airbrush. So I quickly grabbed it and went, I'm gonna be cheeky, and I'm gonna go straight for that expensive Primo airbrush. I'm gonna go straight for that tiny nozzle. And I sprayed these really little bursts of color to get these gradient effects. And as soon as I had that home, I began painting a star effect where I would do a little cross of color in various colors that matched the pastels of the wings. I used green, pink, and yellow, and just did these little crosses of colors and then a dot in the center of them, which is quite simple when you think about it, although it does require a little bit of precision painting. But the effect is a really subtle look of different stars in the night sky. I was quite happy with it. Looking back, I could sort of start to see what I was doing unfold, and that there was an hour and a half left on the clock. So I painted the hair using a gradient of contrast paints to bring it to a more orangey color at the tips of the hair, and then painted blends down to the center of the head to really give it that bright burst. I wanted it to feel like her head was the absolute focal point of the model that was framed by these rainbows. And I think of all the things on the model, that's something that's kind of succeeded, and I'm pretty happy with that. The book was another strange decision that I made. I was like, white paper is going to add this whole focal point to the model that just feels wrong. So I decided it would be like black paper with brown leather with glowing yellow writing on it. And I set to work very quickly doing that. It was like base coat, wash, quick line highlight, and a very rapid squiggle of bright yellow paint for the text. But it came together, and I think it adds to the overall look of the model without distracting too much from the other features. The sword was a super quick job. I think I did the whole sword in 5 minutes, where I just rapidly did a blend with the traditional like power sword non-metallic metal method, threw down some colors and then some line highlights, and it was done. I guess the one part of the model I maybe would have gone back and changed is I grabbed the metallic paint and went for a violet metallic for her halo and the hilt of the sword. Are there things I'd change? Absolutely. Are there things I would have loved to spend more time with, like the eyes, and get a really good blend and a really good sort of glow effect? Again, absolutely. But overall, there is something to this. Get the project done and sort of sit back and assess what you've learned. I could probably paint another model in the same time, and it would look even better with the same techniques, because I learned so much by just diving in, trying different techniques, throwing things together, throwing different colors together, and coming up with something that at the end of the day is at the very least unique. I certainly haven't seen an angel painted this way, and I look forward to watching it as it absolutely obliterates and decapitates Jazz's horrifying demon in the battle of the fates that is to come. It's time to show Jazza what I have done.
I want to see your angel.
I went for something a bit unique. We've seen a million angels before, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. So here you go, have a look.
Whoa, that is unique.
Certainly unique.
Wow, that's cool. Do you know what? I am blown away. You've done so many different things with this too. Well done. And you've also used the airbrush on a mini for the first time. You did the experiment with the busts, but this is your first mini project using an airbrush.
There's a few areas where it's completely not where I would want it, but hey, 5 hours.
I think it's fantastic. Well done, man. We've had some issues because I have done 3 failed 3D print attempts of my demon. So I'm switching it up and printing some different demons. I think we need to have special traits for our characters.
Yes.
Yours has shattered twice and resurrected.
Oh my goodness.
Mine has a plague of death, and it's decaying
Yours
surrounds
still
it.
hasn't formed.
So with that said, we've opened up a few questions for you guys to answer. Mini Club, what are we playing on? Roleplay patrons, what system are we using? And you guys in the comments of this YouTube video, what are the traits or buffs and debuffs that our characters have? The Resurrecting Angel and the Destruction Innate Demon. Let us know in the comments, buffs and debuffs. You can adapt that to any system, whatever patrons pick, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Easy.
So you are deciding what's going to happen, but in the meantime, stay tuned until a few days from now when I paint a demon, and hopefully that goes well. Stay tuned for my demonic demon of crumbling ruin build and paint. Otherwise, that's it for this video.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And you have a great day. Happy painting. See you in the next one.
That was really good. That was really efficient. Why don't we do it like that every time?
It's a bit trite though. It doesn't really fit our...
Yeah, I'd unsubscribe. I'm just
Cut
kidding.
that.